The Ratel of Internet. The story of Martins Vincent Otse, VeryDarkMan. In Nigeria, power usually lives in three places: government offices, church pulpits, and the homes of the wealthy. But in recent years, a different kind of power began to rise, not from a political office, not from a billionaire family, but from something far simpler: a smartphone camera. And behind that camera was a man who refused to stay silent. His name is Martins Vincent Otse, but to millions online, he is known by another name, VeryDarkMan, long before the followers, the controversies, and the national attention. Martins Vincent Otse was just another Nigerian trying to survive. He grew up between Kaduna and Jos cities that shaped his worldview early. There was no political dynasty behind him, no wealthy family backing him, just the everyday struggles many Nigerians understand too well. Frustration, injustice, and a system that often seemed impossible to challenge. But Martins believed something simple: if no one speaks, nothing changes. So he gave himself a name that reflected his mindset: the Ratel, the honey badger. An animal famous for one thing: fearlessness. It does not care how big its opponent is. His rise did not begin with celebrity drama or internet gossip. It started with something far more ordinary and far more dangerous. The skincare industry across Nigeria. Thousands of people were buying beauty products from brands that had little or no proper regulation. Creams, soaps, lotions. Some promised lighter skin, others promised perfect beauty. But Martins started asking a question many were afraid to ask. Were these products even safe? With nothing more than a phone and a black singlet, he began posting videos demanding answers. He challenged major brands publicly. He asked for NAFDAC certification. He warned Nigerians about products that could harm the very people who trusted them. What started as simple consumer advocacy quickly caught fire online. People began listening, and the internet took notice, but Martins did not stop there. What began as product exposure soon turned into something much bigger. VeryDarkMan began pointing his camera at deeper problems inside Nigerian society: allegations of corruption, powerful social figures, influential pastors, law enforcement agencies. No one, it seemed, was off limits. To many Nigerians, he became something rare in the digital age: a social auditor, someone willing to question authority in public, someone willing to say what many were thinking but too afraid to say. But with attention came conflict, and lots of it. His critics say he crosses the line. They accuse him of cyberbullying, defamation, and reckless accusations. They argue that social media should not replace due process. Yet his supporters see something completely different. To them, VeryDarkMan represents accountability in a system where powerful people rarely face consequences. They see a man who cannot be easily bought, a man who still records videos from a modest room, even when donations and financial support began flowing in. And the price of that voice has not been small. Martins Vincent Otse has faced arrests, court cases, public backlash, attempts to silence him, but each time he disappears from the internet, he eventually returns. Often with the same warning he has repeated again and again: peace and love. Don't play. If you play, you will learn, and you will learn the hard way. So who is VeryDarkMan, really? A defender of the ordinary Nigerian, or a reckless internet vigilante? The answer may depend entirely on who you ask, but one thing is undeniable. Martins Vincent Otse has done something very few individuals in Nigeria have ever managed to do. He challenged powerful institutions, using nothing but a smartphone and the internet. In an era where influence can come from anywhere, his story carries a powerful message. You no longer need political office to shake the system. You do not need wealth. You do not need connections. Sometimes all it takes is a voice loud enough for the world to hear and the courage to use it. This is the story of VeryDarkMan, the man who turned darkness into a spotlight and forced a nation to pay attention. Martins Otse is not a saint, and he doesn't claim to be. But in a country where the truth is often buried in expensive suits, Nigeria found its most uncomfortable truths coming from a man in a black singlet.